Welcome to TK Talks. I am Tejas,
And I am Karina.
and today we have a great topic for discussion in our hands, that is memoirs.
So, memoirs are basically about people writing about their own lives and past experiences.
Memoirs are a great way to have a sneak peek into the writer's personal life. In fact, to an extent, to know about what the person has gone through or is going through, isn't it?
True, I agree. Memoirs are generally writings or videos about a specific person, but generally it's a topic we don't discuss much. So, here we are to give it a chance.
As Karina and I were surfing, we found some of the most popular memoirs online. The most famous one was the Malala.
Now, we're talking, and I think it's an amazing topic to talk about.
Malala, a small girl living in Swat Valley. Back in 2007, Swat Valley was under the control of the Taliban, who encouraged banning girls from attending school and a few other cultural activities.
Indeed, Taliban destroyed 400 schools. After all this terror, an 11-year-old Malala fought for her rights to education. Now, isn't that fascinating? Now, something to be inspired from.
Yes, the events were saddening, but Malala put it in the mode of encouragement. She started to blog anonymously. She wrote about the life of the girls and women who were living in the Swat Valley under Taliban rule. She was 11 when she wrote her first article for the BBC. I am afraid. Malala became an internally displaced person, IDP, after being forced to leave her home and seek safety hundreds of miles away.
Oh, wait, and yet, after that, she returned. Her voice grew louder, and she again used media as a medium to continue her campaign for the right to education and fight for her rights.
It doesn't stop there. Adding to that, her activism resulted in nominating her for the International Children's Peace Prize in 2011. The same year, she was awarded Pakistan's National Youth Peace Prize. But not everyone supported her and welcomed her in the campaign to bring about the change in the world.
And now, the story doesn't end here. In fact, this is the most important part of the talk show.
One fine day, she was heading home on her school bus with her friends. The bus stopped and she was shot by a Taliban. 3 shots were fired. One went through her head and other went past her shoulder.
She was taken to the Pakistani military hospital, and 4 days later, she was taken to Birmingham to understand intensive care.
On her 16th birthday, Malala visited New York and spoke at the United Nations. Later that year, she published her first book, an autobiography entitled I Am Malala, the girl who stood up for education and was shot by a Taliban.
And also, in acknowledgement of her work, the European Parliament awarded Malala the prestigious Shakura Prize for the freedom of thought.
At the end, she founded the organization, the Malala Fund.
And inspired many to speak and stand for themselves and their rights. So, we're done with our first podcast, and the second topic for our podcast is something related to spirituality. So, we're going to talk about Bhagavad Gita. Tejas, you know pretty much about this, so I'm going to let you give it a start.
Alright, thanks Kareem. In today's world, as it is tough to find some real books which have some genuine authenticity, and Bhagavad Gita is one of them. Bhagavad Gita means the Bhagavad, God, and Gita, the song. a song sung by gods. It is the essence of life, or the way of life, as said by many. It gives an essential advice about what is right and what is wrong for a person to achieve its optimal being. The main narrator of this epic is Lord Krishna, the supreme being who knows what is right and what is wrong. The story is staged in the city of Hastinapur, where the king Dhritarashtra and Queen Gandhari had 100 children, and on the other side, it was Prince Pandu and Princess Kunti who gave birth to 5 children, namely Yudhishthira, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakul, and Sahadev. Since the birth, the eldest son of Gandhari, Duryodhan wanted the throne for himself, but his ways were never right. And according to the tradition, anyways, the eldest of the family succeeds the throne. That was Yudhishthira. This never suited Duryodhan and his uncle Shakuni. So he came up with every types of tricks and trickeries like the Varnavat fire, tried poisoning them, and the greatest of them all was the evil game of dance, and in which the Draupadi, the wife of the 5 Pandavas, was defamed in the courts of Hastinapur as a revenge of the joke made on them in Indraprastha. This is where Krishna plays a vital role in controlling the situation and showing the right path to the righteous Pandavas. They completed their 14 years in forest, and according to their law spread, when they came back, they demanded what was rightfully theirs, the throne. But Kauravas refused to hand it to them and waged a war instead. Then Krishna steps up and says, "That's it. You have done your part in playing the peacemaker, and now the war is imminent." The war happened and millions were killed. The war happened and millions were killed to just show people that you should never disrespect a woman and you should think upon the deeds before doing them.
This was a vague and a broad review of the book, but one must know that it carries a meaning very beyond these words. So, these were the 2 great memoirs we found and the most popular ones, and I think these topics of discussions were pretty knowledgeable and informative for our listeners and even for us. And here we end the topic with a amazing thought that no matter how hard times you're going through and whatever you go through and whatever the circumstances might be, we should always stand for our rights and never be afraid to speak, because we have the freedom of speech.
Thank you, listeners.
Thank you.